factors. So she's got a neurological, structural malformation initially of her in her brain, in her head, basically, that requires hardware and other issues that then lead to problems with surgical complications when incisions, for example, wounds won't heal. And because she has the collagen, the tissue disorder where she can't heal things correctly, she can't heal up from all the surgeries that she has to have, so she gets infections. So we're not treating one thing, we're treating 2 or 3 different things. And then on top of that, her body doesn't make enough antibodies to fight infections, so not only can she not heal something, but it gets infected because her immune system isn't strong enough to fight the infection. So we've kind of got 3 separate issues that are all interrelated that we have to deal with.
Right.
So one kind of leads to the other, and they kind of snowball, and things that should be fairly simple and straightforward get to be very complicated.
Have you ever seen anything like this, that's this complicated?
I can't say that I've had to take care of a patient with this many coexisting problems that just present difficulties in getting this to heal.
Yeah, feeling good. Kind of just want to know what's going on. This is the 14th time I've been in the hospital in the last 7 months, so pretty tired, but I'm just hurting right now, and I'm ready for them to figure out why. Well, right now we're going down to the nuclear medicine department. We're going to look at where the nuclear dye that they injected right on my spinal cord is leaking today, because I had a lumbar puncture, also known as a spinal tap. Earlier, it showed my intracranial pressure to be 340, and normal is around 100 to 150. So we're trying to figure out if it's leaking out of my head back here at all right now. So, yeah. And on a happier note, I have awesome friends and awesome family and awesome doctors, and they take great care of me at Piedmont, and things are starting to heal. I have massive open chest wounds here, 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 and here, all from where I had infected ports. And my blood levels, I've had 10 transfusions in the last 4 days. When I was at risk for hemorrhaging out on Sunday when my INR level, which measures your clotting factors, was 7.5 and normal is 0.8. So I'm feeling kind of lucky to be here right now, so we're happy about that. This is Teddy. My parents gave me Teddy in the ICU on the morning after my first brain surgery in 2001 when I was 15. And he has been at every single hospital stay, every single surgery, every single ER visit ever since that day. In fact, my surgeon even sometimes stitches up the back of his head and puts tape to match me.
That's awesome.
This is Teddy. We're very close, and I couldn't have gotten through without him.
From a simplistic standpoint, for somebody who doesn't know a lot of medicine, basically she's got an opening of her skull and a bunch of other diseases that make it difficult to close her skull.
That's correct. With the communication to inside the skull is a problem we're dealing with now. And the cerebrospinal fluid, the fluid that surrounds the skull and the spine. It's like you heard people having a spinal tap. Well, poor Joanna has had just probably 50 in the past several months.
And she's subject to repeated infections.
Yes, until we can get final closure and healing, which her body just has not been. It's a congenital problem with this kind of healing. But I think we can whip it, and with her determination, I think we will.
Is there any magic bullet you're going to use to whip it, or just repeatedly doing it until?
Well, we try something slightly different every time. We've tried several things, many of these things, some growth factors, all of these which are expensive, and we're trying to get these things done. Yes, we don't keep doing the same thing over and over expecting this different result. And so basically, there are different
You're being
aspects.
innovative, real
Yes.
innovative.
Absolutely.
Well,
But I'm just one of a team. We've got a lot of other dedicated
yeah,
people.
plastic surgeon, neurosurgeon,
General surgeon,
general surgeon.
and then Dr. Philip Brockman, who's infectious disease, and we're just driving him crazy too, because he's involved with trying to treat the kind of. Plus, we have Dr. Marty York is involved with the hematological problem, with the immune problem too.
So you're really at the cutting edge of research and patient care.
Well, we're all looking. We're having to search the literature regularly.
But would you tell us economically what the struggle is?
Well, we've been very fortunate so far. Very fortunate. She's had excellent insurance since long before she and I met. Financially, there's always been a plan in place. So we have been very fortunate so far. That will change, or at the very least could change completely very soon, within several months, because her insurance picture is going to change one way or another. And if we don't find a solution to it, the economic picture is catastrophic. Without the quality of insurance that she has and has had, the question very quickly becomes not one of economics, but one of survival, and it's not good. She, quite simply, would not be able to survive without having excellent insurance. It's really very simple.
Joanna's going to need some form of health care for the rest of her life, as far as I can tell. I mean, things could settle down to where it got to be more stable in the future at some point if everything goes as it should. But she has this immune deficient problem, so that she's going to need regular monthly infusions of antibodies, which are expensive, at least for the near future, for a matter of months to years. And then whatever other complications come from the upcoming surgeries that she has, and or healing problems and or infections. So I think she's going to need to have physicians involved in her health care for a very large extent for the near and probably immediate future. In terms of months, and beyond that, she's going to always have to have some kind of coverage. If she didn't have some form of reimbursement to pay for her coverage, she would be really stuck, because she can't live without most of these things. She wouldn't be able to.
So it might, it's expensive coming into the hospital repeatedly to do this. And
Oh, it is. It's very expensive.
And the treatments.
And the treatments are they're very unique. Everything from the drug regimens to the procedures themselves, and the management on the floor. Her intravenous drugs. Sometimes the shunts and cerebrospinal fluid adjustments and things that have to be done. It's very challenging, and it's a huge amount of money being required to just do the everyday maintenance.
The total cost of her care, and I would say overall, not just through this debacle in the last 8 or 9 months, but I would say since everything really started when she was young, probably, I believe the number that we've adopted is about $8 million. Now, that's not out of pocket because of her insurance, but that's what it costs to keep her going.
There's not a day that goes past that I don't think about the resources that are being used on me that could be used on someone else. And what's sad to me is that there should be enough for everybody. In my mind, I don't know how. I wish I knew the right way, what way would work. But there should be enough for everyone. But, you know, I look at what is spent on my medical care, and I think, wow, what could that $1 million do if I just said enough for me?